top stories tonight in Y News. An agriculture group wants assurance that the government will provide subsidy to farmers for after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. agreed to adopt hybrid rice as a better alternative to increase rice production.
Philippine National Police Chief Police General Rodolfo Azurin Jr. names Public Information Office Chief Police Colonel Red Maranan as the spokesperson of the five-man advisory group.
Senators once again scrutinized the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund, with one senator calling the bill a very disappointing measure of the administration.
And as the one-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine approaches, threats of possible heavy air attacks from Kremlin looms.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Wednesday, the 15th of February, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am William Theo.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harleen Delgado.
First in the news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has agreed to adopt hybrid rice as a better alternative to increase crop production. But Rice Watch Group Bantay Bigas wants an assurance that the government will provide subsidy to farmers for the said shift. Nel Maribuhok will tell us why.
The Rice Watch Group Bantay Bigas believes that planting hybrid rice is more expensive than producing the traditional rice variety. This is the group's position after President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has agreed to adopt hybrid rice as a better alternative to the inbred variety for increased crop production. According to Cathy Estavillo, spokesperson of Bantay Bigas, hybrid rice seed is still a bit costlier than inbred seed.
Mas mataas ang cost of production niya dahil dun sa special quality niya na klase ng pagtatanim. Kailangan talaga ng abono at pestisidyo. Kailangan yung abono niya ay aabot ng 7 bags. Magkano ang abono ngayon? 3,500 hanggang 3,200.
Estavillo emphasized that the government should provide direct subsidies to rice farmers to help them cope with the production cost of hybrid rice.
Ang usapin dito, yung kailangan talaga kasabay ng pagtatanim ng hybrid ay subsidy mula sa gobyerno. And at the same time, ma-ensure na kapag nagtanim sila ay nakapag-ani sila ay mabili ng makatarungang presyo yung kanilang produkto, gaya ng panawagan ng ating mga magsasaka na dapat hindi bababa sa 20 pesos per kilo ang presyo ng kanilang palay.
During the meeting of President Marcos Jr. with SL Agritech Corporation and Central Luzon farmers in Malacanang yesterday, PBBM said he will implement a program to promote the shift to hybrid rice by providing subsidies and facilitating loan financing to farmers. The palace noted the joint study of the Department of Agriculture and local government units that the hybrid system has given 41% better yield than inbred conventional seeds. In addition, hybrid farmers have reported harvesting around 7 to 15 metric tons per hectare as compared to the average 3.6 mt per hectare for inbred seeds. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Bureau of Immigration is expected to deport 4 South Korean nationals wanted by Seoul authorities for telecom fraud and illegal gambling. Dante Amento tells us why.
The Bureau of Immigration or BI's Fugitive Search Unit has arrested 4 South Korean fugitives in different areas this month. Last February 1, Chun Jung-hoon was apprehended in Pasig City. He has been in the immigration's wanted list since 2020. In addition, Jung-hoon has an arrest warrant from Busan District Court for telecom fraud. Kim Jin-sok, Park Jun-jin, and Park Yong-tae, with pending cases for fraud and illegal gambling in South Korea, were also arrested.
Itong 4 ng South Korean, ito po'y nahuli sa mga kadahilanan na sila po ay nag-violate sa ating immigration law. They are undesirable alien. At the same time, ang kanila pong mga travel documents, mga pasaporte, ay kinancel na po. Ibig sabihin po, undocumented na po sila.
The 4 South Korean fugitives are now subject for deportation.
Ito pong mga South Koreans na to, na 4 na ating pong i-deport. Ito po in coordination din sa tulong din po ng ating South Korean Embassy.
Once deported, they will also be included in the immigration blacklist to prevent them from returning to the Philippines.
Wala pa tayong exact date sa kanang deportation, considering na sa deportation po natin, kumukuha po tayo ng clearances from NBI or from sa korte. We have to ensure na bago natin i-deport is wala silang ibang kasong pananagutan.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Philippine National Police Chief Police General Rodolfo Azurin Jr. named PNP Public Information Office Chief Police Colonel Red Maranan as the spokesperson of the 5-man advisory group. General Azurin said Maranan will update the media as well as the third-level officers on the development of the evaluation and assessment on the courtesy resignation of the officers of the PNP. Leah Ilagan will tell us why.
The 5-man advisory group will start the review of the guidelines to be used in the assessment and evaluation of the submitted courtesy resignation of the PNP third-level officers on Monday, February 20. PNP Chief Police General Rodolfo Azurin Jr. said once the review of the guidelines is finished, they will immediately start the evaluation.
Hopefully by Monday or by next week, early next week, we will already start working. Kompleto na kami.
General Azurin also said the advisory group will also discuss if it is needed to have a face-to-face interview with the third-level officers.
So, yun ang isa sa mga pinag-usapan. We are going to request them for face-to-face interview. Or we will let napag-come once recommendation.
The PNP chief also named PNP Public Information Office Chief Police Colonel Red Maranan as the spokesperson of the advisory group. Maranan will give an update on the development of the evaluation.
It should be on a regular basis na kung may mga dokumenta na process at kung kailangan na bigyan ng update ang media, especially mga personnel natin. Mas maganda sa mawala yung agam-agam third-level officers natin.
The 5-man advisory group targets to complete the process before the retirement of General Azurin in April. Leah Ilagan, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The OFW party list, along with several government agencies, conducted a policy dialogue in hopes to address human trafficking and illegal recruitment. During the discussions, the Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, vows to open migrant workers' office in several countries in 3 years. Eileen Cerudo will tell us why.
The Department of Migrant Workers said that the Migrant Workers Office is a part of the country's line of defense against human trafficking. 8 Filipino human trafficking victims have been rescued and repatriated from Myanmar last Monday, February 13. However, more Filipino workers still need to be rescued in various countries. During the previous Senate committee hearing, the DMW said due to the lack of migrant workers' office in some countries, there is a gap in authenticating documents of employers and overseas Filipino workers. There are currently no migrant workers' office in Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Pakistan. Based on the data of the Department of Foreign Affairs as of September 2022, 109 Filipinos are victims of human trafficking in Laos, 58 in Myanmar, 39 in Cambodia, and 1 in Thailand.
But under the law, we are mandated to put up migrant workers' offices in all the posts, in all the embassies and consulates we have overseas in 3 years, in 3 years' time.
During the policy dialogue, the DMW said The agency is mandated to establish migrant workers' offices in countries, especially with a high number of overseas Filipino workers. The agency also said that before putting up MWOs, there should be an agreement with the host country.
Yung establishment po kasi ng migrant workers offices would be subject to of course with the guidance and the help din po of the Department of Foreign Affairs. There are certain diplomatic and consular considerations regarding this one. Saan tayo pwede mag-establish, dapat a-approvean din ng host country. Pakistan is of course already in the list kasi malaki-laki rin po ang deployment natin sa Pakistan.
Meanwhile, OFW Party List Representative Marisa Del Mar Magsino advised Filipinos to be wary of illegal recruiters. She also reiterated that illegal recruitment and human trafficking go hand in hand.
Pag kayo ay nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na binola na kayo, kinausap kayo na maayos, in-encourage kayo, napibigyan kayo ng malaking sahod sa ibang bansa na hindi nyo alam kung saan bansa kayo pupunta, binigyan kayo ng pera, wala naman kayong proper documents, magsuspecha na po kayo, tumakas na kayo, wag na kayong sumama pa.
The lawmaker said applying for job opportunities abroad should be done through the proper process and recruitment agencies. Eileen Cerudo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Commission on Human Rights is now conducting an investigation on the alleged violations of a mining company in Sibuyan Island. Residents and groups who oppose the mining operation continue monitoring in the area. Dante Amento will tell us why.
The encounter between the policemen, the residents, and groups opposing the operation of Altai Philippine Mining Corporation in Sibuyan Island, Romblon, is one of the incidents that is currently being investigated by the Commission on Human Rights or CHR.
Kung ma-establish namin na totoong violent itong dispersal na ito, then we will be recommending the filing of appropriate charges doon sa dispersal.
But DNR clarifies that since September, they have initial investigation in the reported violation of the mining company. But for the continued investigation, they will coordinate with the concerned government agencies like the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DNR and local government. CHR will look if there is an environmental violation that could worsen the impact of climate change.
Kung dati po kasi ang sinasabi nating human rights ay patungkol lamang sa civil and political rights, nag-evolve na po yung panahon na pati po yung economic, social at cultural rights ay tinitingnan na rin po ng CHR.
Rodney Galicia, the Executive Director of the Living Laudato sa Philippines, said that they will continue to watch the movement of the mining company in the area.
Hindi pa rin kami titigil dito dahil yung exploration permit po ng mining company ay aktibo pa rin at hindi rin namin alam kung ano yung ginagawa nila doon sa loob ng kanilang contract area.
Last February 6, a joint order by the DNR Mimaropa together with the Mines and Geosciences Bureau and Environmental Management Bureau in the region suspended the transportation of ore and the operation and construction of causeway in Barangay España, San Fernando, Romblon. The Provincial Environment and Natural Resources will also investigate if the operation affects marine resources in the area and the possible filing of charges if warranted due to the reported cutting of trees without permit. Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And foreign news abroad. As the first anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine approaches, threats of possible heavy air attacks from Russia looms. Ukraine, along with its allies and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization officials, push to acquire more air defenses for Ukraine. Joselito Liquido will tell us the details live. Yes, Joselito, go ahead.
Good evening, Mariel. Intelligence gathered by the North Atlantic Treaty Organization or NATO states that Russia is assembling fighter jets and helicopters near the Ukraine border in what is possibly a preparation for a heavy air power attacks to break the battlefield deadlock on the ground. The organization added that getting the requested air defense system to Ukraine as soon as possible is very critical as Russia intensifies its attacks nearing the first anniversary of its invasion of Ukraine. Lloyd Austin, United States Chief of Defense, on a meeting on NATO's headquarters in Brussels, said that Ukraine's air defenses at the moment is not enough and that they need to keep pushing for more as the threat of Russia's airstrike looms. However, the defense chief only stated that he has no announcement at the moment when asked about the issue of whether the Allies are sending fighter jets to help Ukraine in its war efforts. The United States earlier stated that they will not be sending fighter jets to Ukraine while the United Kingdom is still assessing the possibility. Although the fighting on the battlefield continued to rage, it was held almost on a standstill during the winter months, but attacks from both sides are expected to increase as the weather improves. Mariel?
Thank you, Joselito Liquido, for that live report. Many countries in Europe adapted to chlorine-free drinking water, and Paris, France has been leading the world for having the best drinking water according to experts. Ryuji Sasaki will give us the details live. Yes, Ryuji, good evening.
Good evening, Mariel. According to Green Matters, Paris is a city in Europe with the best drinking water. Instead of using chlorine to treat the water, Paris uses an extensive water treatment process which is divided into 3 stages: a screening stage where large objects and materials are removed, a filtration stage through sand and gravel, and a polishing stage using ozone and UV light. After treatment, the water is supplied to homes as well as to more than 1,000 drinking fountains in the city with both tap and carbonated water, which also provides clean and sufficient water for the homeless. On the other hand, Paris has also ditched single-use plastic bottles and began selling empty reusable water bottles across vending machines instead to reduce plastic production and waste. Mariel?
Thank you, Ryuji Sasaki, reporting live. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Marielle. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. Senators once again scrutinized the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund, with one senator calling the bill a very disappointing measure of the administration. Meanwhile, a group expressed concern on the provisions of the bill, including its proposed fund sources, calling it problematic. This report will tell us why.
The Foundation of Economic Freedom, or FEF, has strong reservations on the proposed Maharlika Investment Fund, or MIF. In the second hearing of the Senate Committee on Banks, Financial Institutions and Currencies, the group says the proposed measure has problematic fund sources and confused objectives. Under the bill, the initial capital will be coming from government financial institutions, Land Bank of the Philippines, and Development Bank of the Philippines, or DBP. The group worries that under the bill's current form, it is unclear if the equity cash investment of the Land Bank and the DBP in the MIF is guaranteed by the national government.
Maaari ito magkasunog sa buong financial system sapagkat exposed po ang DBP, ang Land Bank, sa MIF. No? So pag bumaba po ang value ng MIF, ma-erode yung capital ng DBP, Land Bank, at maaari mag-spread po yan, contagion to the rest of the banking system.
The group recommends removing the central bank, the Land Bank and the DBP from the MIF's capital sources and instead use the proceeds from the sale of government assets. The Land Bank explains the money to be contributed to the MIF will be derived from its investable funds, now worth 1.3 trillion pesos. However, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian and Nancy Binay questioned the lack of business development plan for the MIF.
Di ba para mas mako-convince kami to approve this bill kung alam na rin namin kung ano ba talaga yung business plan.
In the legislation po, we have also cited already the objectives, which is the developmental and of course the commercial. And then we are also working in terms of how much would be the returns that are also envisioned by the fund.
Pero how can you envision a return when you don't even know what the specific developmental plan?
National Treasurer Rosalia De Leon says the National Economic and Development Authority has identified 87 projects where the money will be invested. For his part, Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Coco Pimentel maintains the proposed MIF is not well planned and should not be allowed to pass in the Senate in its current form.
You're conducting a very expensive public brainstorming. Yan ang ginagawa ninyo eh. The National Treasurer assures us na mayroong listahan ng mga allowable investments. Meron pang last paragraph dun eh. And all other investments as may be decided by the board. Sino naglulukuhan dito?
Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Land Transportation Office, or LTO, is already investigating a viral video of a driver who attacked a delivery rider. JP Nunez will tell us why.
A video of a driver hitting a delivery rider went viral online. According to its uploader, who is also a witness to the incident, it happened on Monday, February 13 at the Imelda Avenue in Cainta, Rizal. On the video, the driver of an L300 van took off the helmet of the delivery rider, then used it to hit his head. Despite the effort of other riders to stop the driver, he still pushes to hit the delivery rider. He even took a black bag as if he is going to get a weapon. According to Mary, the uploader, before she was able to take the video, the two already had exchange of words.
Hindi kami makago kasi nakaharang sila, yung Grab driver tapos yung L3 na sasakyan. So parang nag-aaway na nga sila nung time na yun, nagtatalo na. Pero yung driver ng L3 nandun pa rin sa may loob. So nung time na yun, yung L3 kumanan tapos parang akala ko okay na kasi naghiwalay na sila, nag-separate na sila. Parang umusad lang ng konti tapos maya-maya kinat niya na naman yung pag-alis nung Grab rider na yon.
Despite the rage of the driver, Mary said that the delivery rider did not retaliate.
From the first place po, hindi naman po nanlaban yung Grab rider. Kahit naman po sa video na nakita po natin, hindi ko po nakitaan na pumalag po yung rider po ng Grab.
The Land Transportation Office, or LTO, is already investigating the incident. LTO's Intelligence and Investigation Division Chief Renante Militante said they need to subpoena both the driver and the delivery rider to explain their sides. The LTO needs to determine who is liable to the incident which resulted to beating.
Under investigation na po namin ito kasi hindi po namin makuha yung plate number ng buo. Hingi din po kami sa inyo ng tulong, baka sa L300 makita natin po yung plate number niya. Both parties po, si Grab at yung tawag dito, L300 bus, ay may subpoena po natin dito sa office.
If the driver of the L300 proven to be liable to the incident, he may face charges under Republic Act 4136, which is related to improper person to operate a motor vehicle that may result to suspension or revocation of his driver's license.
I-determine natin yung circumstances bakit umabot sa ganun at ma-determine natin dito sino ba ang possible na liable doon sa pambubugbog. Depende po yan sa magiging result ng investigation po natin, whether that is suspension or revocation.
The LTO is reminding all the motorists to control their temper when driving to avoid any road rage incident. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Philippine Statistics Authority reported today, February 15, that over 50 million Philippine IDs and e-Phil IDs have been successfully printed. Bernadette Tinoy will tell us why.
Over
over 50 million PhilIDs and ePhilIDs have been printed by the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA. The agency reported today, February 15, that they printed a total of 50,262,059, where 30,558,332 imprinted for PhilIDs and 19,703,727 for ePhilIDs. Call center agent Marcos Espiritu registered for national ID back in 2020, and after 2 to 3 years, his ID was delivered this February.
Nagdala lang po ako ng valid ID po. At least 2 valid ID. Mabilis lang po, wala po sigurong 5 minutes. Tapos pinicturean po ako, biometrics po ng fingerprint, mabilis lang po.
He added that his transaction in banks and other public or private company became easy when he presented his national ID.
Madalas po kasi pagka nanghihingi ng requirements, 2 po kaagad ang hinihingi nila. Pero nung nakita nila yung valid, ay yung national ID ko, parang di na nila ako hiningan pa ng ibang ID.
According to PSA Undersecretary and National Statistician Dennis Mapa, the agency aims to provide service to Filipinos with its benefits, including streamlined information of an individual such as telephone number, loans, among others. One PhilID can be presented for transaction with government or private institution. And it is also scam-free because of its highly secure details. For Mark, having a national ID is really convenient.
Worth to wait naman kasi sobrang convenient ng magkakaroon ng national ID.
Bernadette Tino, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Health, or DOH, is open to the idea of lowering the country's alert level system. Moreover, the agency reiterated that safeguards will still be in place. Gladys Tuabi tells us why.
The Department of Health and the Interagency Task Force, or IATF, are yet to convene to discuss important matters, including the alert system in the country. However, the agency is open to the idea of lowering the alert level system to 0. This as lives are slowly getting back to normal, and the COVID-19 situation in the country shows improvement. In a press briefing earlier, Department of Health Officer in Charge Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere clarifies that safeguards, surveillance, and monitoring will still be in place, despite any level of restrictions as virus continue to mutate.
Recognizing that fact, na pwede tayong dumating doon sa punto na wala talagang alert level and everything is at that normal pace and stage kung saan wala tayong kailangan. Pero of course, precautions, safeguards should always be there, whether it be at that alert level 0 or alert level 5.
The COVID-19 trend in the country shows plateauing of cases, and the critical and severe cases in hospitals remain manageable. Gladys Tuabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The governor of Michigan in the United States is calling for action against gun violence in the country after a mass shooting incident at Michigan State University. Ia De Vera will tell us why live. Yes, Ia.
Mariel, authorities have identified the suspect as 43-year-old Anthony Dwayne McRae, who died of a self-inflicted gunshot after firing at 2 different sites at Michigan State University on Monday night, February 13, killing 3 students and leaving 5 others critically injured. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer called for gun reform and spoke to U.S. President Joe Biden, who offered his help and support to the university's community. Mr. Biden once again called for a ban on assault weapons during his State of the Union address last week and urged lawmakers to address gun violence as he paid tribute to Monday's shooting victims. The incident followed weeks after 2 mass shootings in California and 9 months after a shooting at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, killed 21 people. Mariel, while demands for stricter gun laws grow louder, those calls often face gridlock and opposition from conservatives who support gun rights. Back to you, Mariel.
Thank you, Ia De Vera, for that live report. Former United States envoy to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, has announced that she will run for president in the U.S. 2024 election through a video posted via her social media pages Tuesday, February 14. The announcement makes Haley the second Republican after former President Donald Trump to announce a bid and seek the party's nomination as presidential candidate for 2024. Haley is a proud daughter of Indian immigrants and grew up on southern U.S. She strives to change the political system of Republicans who have lost the popular vote in 7 out of the last 8 presidential elections. Haley, who presents herself as a more moderate alternative to Trump, still considered Trump, the former president, an influential figure in Republican politics when she returned from her resignation in 2018. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Maria Latoza reporting live from Perth, Australia. Good evening.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. described as encouraging the latest social weather station survey that showed 3 out of 4 adult Filipinos are satisfied with his performance. The results of the latest SWS poll showed 75% of adult Filipinos are satisfied with a chief executive's performance, while 7% are dissatisfied. The survey, conducted last December 10 to 14, 2022, showed another 18% are undecided.
It's always encouraging to know that naunawaan ng tao yung aming ginagawa. So we'll just keep going and keep everybody informed kung ano yung aming ginagawa.
Meanwhile, the remains of Filipina Wilma Abulad Tezcan, who died in the magnitude 7.8 earthquake in Turkey, arrived at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, or NAIA, at 5:55 p.m. on Wednesday, February 15. Officials of the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, joined Tezcan's family in receiving her remains. Tezcan is among the quake-hit fatalities in Turkey who were said to be living in a building that collapsed during the earthquake. DFA assured that it will provide assistance to the family of the Filipino casualty.
Ito kami para sa pamilya, bibigyan namin ng konting ayuda. Preliminary lang po yan. Ito rin po para namin yung kaya dadalhin sa Lucena. Sa
The Tourism Department says arrival of cruise ships in the country signals resurgence of tourism industry. This as the DOT welcomes tourists who arrive in cruise ships in Manila Port today. Asher Kadapan Jr. explains why.
After 3 years of pandemic, more and more cruise ships start to arrive in the country, with another one making a maiden call to the Port of Manila today. This is while both the national and local governments ease the travel restrictions even to foreign tourists, bringing confidence to cruise ship companies and tourists and including the Philippines in their itinerary. Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco added that this was a result of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s efforts in signaling to the world that the Philippines is open and ready for tourism and investments.
The arrival of this cruise into this port in Manila signals the resurgence of the tourism industry, as it is one of the first that has docked in the Philippines. This signals confidence as well in travel and tourism into the Philippines.
The Department of Tourism says every tourist in cruise ships spends about $100 per cruise call. With about 117,000 passengers anticipated this year, the DOT expects that this will provide revenue and livelihood to the country.
While there may be estimated revenues, the downstream effect not only upon our national government revenues but also upon our local government revenues at this point is really unquantifiable, as tourists such as those that ride this cruise ship have the capacity to spend and to help our local government units and our small and medium enterprises.
The DOT likewise confirmed that the port of call in the country has increased from 102 to 139, which opens the country's gate not only to key destinations but also to lesser known ones. Asher Kadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the pandemic caused by coronavirus, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
Before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Romans, chapter 16, verse 19, it says, "For your obedience is come abroad unto all men. I am glad therefore on your behalf. But yet I would have you unwise unto that which is good, and simple concerning evil." Reasons behind the news, February 15, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Harleen Delgado.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.